in this new book, you give us certain advices about how to grow a business, but do you think this has changed within this health crisis in which we find ourselves?
The basic framework stays exactly the same. In fact, I think there's more opportunity in this crisis because a lot of businesses went out of business. And what happens is businesses that have gone out of business, there is still demand, not that people are buying right now, it's called pent-up demand. There's still customers that are going to buy in the future. So even though the business may be slowing down now, with the competition going away, if you can sustain when that demand gets reactivated, there's going to be a lot of opportunity. But there is groundwork we need to place right now, and it's in the pumpkin plan. The strategy is to identify who your best target community or best customers are, to really start to understand them and cater to them, to find out where they congregate, where other customers like them hang out, what podcasts they listen to, what websites they visit, where they physically may be going, and to position ourselves to be there. I will say this, it's less likely to grow explosively when there is an economy like we're experiencing now in this global pandemic. That is undeniable. But there's an opportunity to position ourselves for very healthy, very rapid growth as things recover. And we can start laying the groundwork now. Also, you will pick up some clients because as your competition goes away, some of those customers of that competition now are left abandoned. They need help from someone, somehow, somewhere, and that can be you.
So those are the issues that an entrepreneur has to prioritize, or which ones are the ones that an entrepreneur has to prioritize?
Yeah, so right now we got to go back to our existing customer base, clients that we're currently servicing or providing products for, and ask them, what else can we do, or how can we serve you in a new way? The core community that you have is absolutely key to your business. I consider it the heart of a business. There is a principle called the 80-20 rule. And the idea behind this is that 20% of your customer base represents 80% of your profitability and your revenue. That 20% is the heart of your organization. So identify who your best customers are and start serving them better today. Ask them what else they need now and start adjusting your services or products accordingly if they have new needs. But there's also an opportunity here. As you continue to cater to them more, they will be the gateway to introduce you to other customers like them. So you may not start finding the other clients and opportunities that are out there as you cater to these customers immediately, but that's the foundation. You care for them. They will ultimately introduce you to all the outlets where they hang out, where they congregate, and you can find their clones. That's the long-term play. What we do right now is we cater to those existing customers so that we keep them with our business and don't lose them, and perhaps even gain new sales with them. So the businesses that will succeed right now, I believe, are the unknowns. They're the small businesses that you haven't heard of, because these small businesses are the most innovative. What we're experiencing is a massive wave of change, of customer demand, like a tsunami wave. And as that change comes about, small business is the one that's agile enough to grab it. Ironically, it's the big companies, Google, Amazon, Airbnb, those companies are on these massive tanker ships. They can't adjust and reinvent themselves. They're going to try to roll over the wave and sustain, but they're not the ones who are going to catch the momentum, the energy of the changing demand. So I think there's opportunities everywhere. In fact, I'm calling 2020 not the Great Recession like 2008. I call this the Great Reinvention. Small businesses that ask their customers, how can we serve you in a new way, and actually make that innovative change are the ones who are going to catch that momentum. And 5 years from today, there's going to be new Googles and new Amazons that you've never heard of today because they were the small businesses that grabbed the opportunities.
So you have to be all technological, or you have to work with e-commerce, or?
Oh yeah, when it comes to the technology, Do you have to work with e-commerce? Maybe. The funny thing is, I think the default, the general assumption is there is a pathway to get there. I need to go online. We need to do Zoom. There's certain things that if we're doing that, we'll be fine. And I think it's more than that. I think e-commerce and Zoom and remote access and all those things, remote commerce, are all necessary, but that just keeps you in business. I'm thinking beyond that. I'm thinking of innovation. Let me give you an example. There's many restaurants that were affected. In fact, I was working with a restaurant in Mexico City, but there was a restaurant here where I am. I'm in New Jersey, about 20 kilometers outside of New York City. And there was many restaurants that have gone out of business because they can't have people in the restaurants. The law prohibits it. Some of the restaurants started doing takeout and so forth, and they're sustaining. That's like doing e-commerce. It's necessary to do takeout. One restaurant, and I only know of one in our whole area, teamed up with a food truck. So this restaurant is packing this food truck that's carrying hot meals into neighborhoods, and now they can disperse hot meals into neighborhoods deliver 50 meals to a neighborhood within 20, 30 minutes because everyone's in the same circle. Where every other restaurant is doing one-off delivery. They dispatch out a person, they drop the food off, they go back to the restaurant, and they're delivering one meal every 30 minutes. The food truck restaurant partnership is explosively more successful. That's what I'm talking about. We need to innovate like that. So there's going to be a common approach that's necessary, e-commerce, takeout, but there's going to be the great inventive and innovative thinking that is going to make the next great business.
So, and do you think these are the things that we have to continue doing, or after, when we got a vaccine, everything will go back to normal?
Yeah, so I don't know if things are going to go back to normal because if you think about the last normal before the COVID pandemic, that was new compared to 15 or 20 years ago before the internet existed. So the normal always changes. So I don't think we're going to go back to how it was prior to this. There'll be changing technologies and changing expectations, and things will change. But the fundamentals of business have always remained constant. Deliver on your promises, be exceptional at what you do, be fair to your customers, market effectively. All those base tenets stay the same. The technology and the mechanism to do it, that's the stuff that changes. But if you sell clothing from a store physically where people come in versus selling clothing online, you still have to have great customer service, the ability for the customer to return the products if they're not happy. All the core tenets stay the same. So in our business, the nice thing is whatever made you successful that you were great at, keep doing it, but you may simply have to do it using new technology or new approaches, but the core essence stays the same.
Mike, personally, what have you learned from this world situation?
I've seen, two situations. I've seen a division of business. Some people saying this is the greatest opportunity ever, and some saying this is the biggest tragedy ever. The interesting thing is I've seen the exact same business types, competitors, say these two different things, and their businesses are responding accordingly. The business owner says this is the greatest opportunity, is seeking ways to use this, and those businesses are sustaining and growing. The one saying this is the biggest tragedy, I see them fading away. So what I've learned is the way we observe the world around us really does dictate our behavior in business. I think we have a choice. I have a choice. You have a choice. We all have a choice to make right now. Is this an opportunity or is this a tragedy? And I am convinced from my own personal experience now that if I truly see this as an opportunity, it's not going to make it easy, but I will sustain and grow. If I see this as a tragedy, I think I'll get rolled over.
And what do you want to spread through this new book, The Pumpkin Plan?
Yeah, I think Latin America is a growing force globally. And it's probably the strongest economic force that I see, the strongest growth. I have a U.S. perspective, and I can see here in the U.S. the growing Latin community and the economic opportunity that exists. I hope the Pumpkin Plan serves this community, that these businesses can grow faster, healthier, and stronger. It's funny, I've been saying for a long time, it's a popular saying, that small business is the backbone of the global economy. And now I think that's the wrong thing to say. Small business is not the backbone. Small business is the economy. We are the entire economy. If small business fails in this circumstance, we're all done. The whole globe, the whole global economy is done. But if small business is successful, the global economy will recover and be successful again. And I hope the Pumpkin Plan, even in a small way, is part of that story. Hola, mi nombre es Mike Michalowicz y soy el autor de El Gran Plan. And I am so happy that you are checking out the book. I know it will serve you. Entrepreneurs are the essence of the economy, and your success determines not only how you can provide for your family, but how you provide for your community, your country, our collective world. I am wishing you tremendous success, and I hope El Gran Plan is a source to do exactly that.